I would say growing up in our family, there were five of us kids. So it was a little bit of a three-ring circus. Everybody was going everywhere, every day. But at the end of the day, we always had dinner together. A lot of people assume that my dad would, starting and growing a business, that he was not home, he was traveling all the time. And that's just not the case. We had dinner together almost every night. He was very involved in all of our lives. And it felt like a really normal childhood. We weren't terribly involved in his work day. He was more involved in knowing what we did that day with our friends.
And I think the first memory that I have about my dad's business career was frankly when he left Opus. I was in sixth grade, and then all of a sudden we weren't, and he was starting his own business. And money was tighter, than it was before when he started his own business, and it was a little bit scary for a kid to see his dad quitting his job and going out on his own. He has ever been a superhero around the house. His family, certainly keeps him humble, but I don't think any of us questioned what he was doing. But there was certainly some uncertainty around it when he started his business. The one thing that I think is remarkable when I remember back about my father starting the business, he was always home for dinner at 6 o'clock. And I don't think I appreciated it at the time, right. But as an adult now, knowing what must go into starting your own business, the fact that he prioritized family and he was always there for dinner, it's just remarkable to me.
The first inkling that I had that, that my dad was successful was when we moved. So we grew up in a house where all five of us kids shared one bathroom. And I think it was when my twin sister and I reached the preteen years, and we were at each other's throats as preteen girls tend to be. And my parents were like, okay, we can't take any more of this fighting over the bathroom time. And so they moved into a larger house, and it was a house that, I don't know, it was so much bigger and nicer than what we had grown up in. It didn't feel like, it was really a part of what our family experience was going to be. So it was a little eye-opening then. I mean, it had a pool, which is all we ever dreamed about when we were little.
First and foremost, his business ethics. I think everyone knows that when they're doing business with my dad, they can trust him to be honest and fair with them. A second key to his success, I think, his affability, his personability. Folks just seem to get along with my dad and like him, and that goes a long way. Maybe the third key to his success, if I were to identify them, is hiring great people. He has a knack for picking great leaders for his company.
One of the things my dad taught me is that one person cannot do it all. I mean, one of your main jobs is to hire really good people and empower them. And that's what he's done throughout his career. And, that's what I've learned from him is that you hire good people, you let them run, and then, you're going to be able to grow it at a speed that you could never do just as a one person trying to get involved in every single detail. One of the things that makes him a really good boss, I think, is that he takes a personal interest in everyone who works for him. He doesn't just know you and your name and what you do at the company, but he knows where your kids go to college, he knows what sports they played, and he cares about every employee that he meets. So he's really involved, and the fact that he cares is just evident in the interest that he takes in everyone.
Jim was a really dynamic guy. Jim is a really dynamic guy, and that's what impressed me when I first met him. I loved his enthusiasm for the business. He was a true people person. He had a real detailed, intimate knowledge of the real estate and construction industry. And he was the kind of guy that I wanted to follow. He just was a natural leader. Jim takes a personal interest in virtually all of our employees. He takes a personal interest in our clients. He truly tries to understand what drives their business. I think he goes that extra step that distinguishes himself from the pack when it comes to the relationships that he develops with his partners, with our employees, and with our clients.
Jim has set an environment where he practices what he preaches, treating people the right way, care for the whole person, treating clients and our teammates here within McShane with a level of respect and dignity in any environment, in the stressful situations as well as those in which we're celebrating our successes. He's really a guy you can look to as kind of this steadfast presence, as a guy who really understands business and understands people and is willing to help in any way he can. Never has it been where we've seen an issue and we thought, it can't be solved. Oftentimes when there's an issue, people aren't running for the edges. People are running for the middle and trying to work through the issue in lieu of running away from it, which you can oftentimes see. No, it's an environment and a culture that Jim's created in which people trust one another, people respect one another, and people value the input from our trade partners, like I said, clients, design professionals. So the issues don't feel like issues, they feel like opportunities.
And I watched Jim grind through every single real estate transaction or real estate deal that he had and figure out a way to make sure that his partners got paid, the banks got paid, and that no one was left holding the bag. I remember asking him about it because at the same time, a lot of developers were basically tossing the keys to the bank and saying, here you go, I'm walking away. And I brought that up to Jim, and he said something that stuck with me now for about 12, 13 years. And what he said was, it's not about the money. And that's all he said. But I knew what he meant. What it meant was, it's about your reputation, it's about your integrity, and it's about the promises that you make to the people that you do business with. And it's really easy to be a good partner when times are good. When times are bad, it's a lot tougher to be a good partner. And I think there's a lot of people in the real estate industry that could honestly say that Jim McShane is a great partner, even when times are really bad.
I've learned so much from my dad, professionally and personally. I think for him, it's nice because I have no filter when it comes to feedback for him. So perhaps I give him a level of feedback that he doesn't hear from other people, in its brutal honesty sometimes.
I've known Jim McShane a long time. I know everybody's going to say how wonderful he is, and, kind to his mother, and, very big benefactor to Marquette. Well, I bought him breakfast one time. I'm going out to my car. I see him sneak back in, and he swiped a tip from the waitress. I also saw him spit tobacco on a girl's prom dress. I saw him kick a puppy. I saw him trip a nun. I saw him cheer for the Red Wings at a Blackhawks game, and I saw him put ketchup on a Vienna hot dog. So there, that's the real Jim McShane. You're the sweetest creature God ever made. I mean, he really, really is. For a contractor, he is, it's amazing that a contractor can be this nice and this straightforward. We liked him right away. We liked him, everybody that he worked with. We liked always straight shooters. If Jimmy tells you it's going to be cost plus 6% or whatever they get now, I think he gets cost plus 18 or 19% now. But that's what it comes back at. Jim, since then, has just been magnificent in building these big buildings and getting them done on time, on budget, no nonsense, no bullshit back and forth. I know I forgot to include the skylights, or I forgot that it needed exit lights that go blinkety blink. No nonsense at all. He just delivers, and he's wonderful to deal with in business. On a personal level, he is a wonderful friend. I really like him because he takes abuse almost better than anybody in the business. You can tease him. He hardly ever cries. He takes it. Doesn't mind if you say what a cheap Irishman he is. Never takes offense to it because he knows it's true. He's very, very, very frugal. All right, he's a dear, sweet guy. That's all I have to say. Nobody has accomplished more being from Minnesota and not speaking, English real well. I mean, English is a second language. He has done so well. He has more companies than most Italians have cousins. I mean, he's in Arizona, he's in Alabama, he's in Texas, he's in Chicago, he's in California. He does multifamily. He's doing rest homes, nursing homes, industrial. I think the only thing he's not doing is hot dog stands, but he may get into that. So, all right, well, that's it. Congratulations, but you do know that when you get a second Lifetime Achievement Award or their fourth, you're supposed to retire. Congratulations.
Congratulations on this award. 36 years in the industry. It's well deserved.
Congratulations, Jim, on receiving the 2020 Illinois Real Estate Journal Lifetime Achievement Award. You've really had an amazing career and built a great organization. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award than you. It's been a real honor for me to have been a part of the McShane team these past 24 years. Again, Jim, congratulations, well deserved.
Congratulations, Jim, on winning the Lifetime Achievement Award. You've meant a lot to so many in the real estate industry. Nobody deserves this more than you do. Thanks for everything.
Congratulations on the Lifetime Achievement Award, Dad. There's nobody more deserving of it than you are. Love you.
I think first of all, nobody is successful in business without some help along the way. And when I started this business, I had quite a few people who stepped up to help me. And I don't think I could have done this without them, whether they be the bankers or whether real estate developers or some of my construction customers. A lot of people helped me along the way to get started. And I've always appreciated that. I started in 1984, and my first building projects as a contractor were in 1985. And after 1985, I never looked back. But I did appreciate many of the people who helped me along the way. It's almost too many to name them all, and some of them aren't with us anymore. But I think about that all the time. I think about the people who went out of their way to help me develop and grow my company, and I've always appreciated that. I enjoy kind of leading the company, thinking 2-3 years ahead about where we should be. And what I enjoy most, frankly, is watching young people who come out of college and watching their careers blossom. We've had a lot of people who've left us and their careers have blossomed in their own companies. And we have a lot of people in our own company here who have gone from a college graduate, pretty green behind the ears, to leaders in the industry. So I get a real charge out of watching these young people grow and develop. I think the older I get, the more I appreciate that. I never thought we'd create a family business, Todd, but two of my children came to me in about 2000 and I'm going to say 4 or 5, and asked me if I'd ever thought about making this a family business, and I said no. And they said, well, why don't you think about it? And I said, well, I don't know. Do I have any children interested in that? And they said, well, maybe we are. So we spent quite a bit of time with John Ward over at Northwestern. He ran their family business practice over there, and we studied it for about 5 or 6 years. And then in 2009, which was a wonderful year, by the way, we decided to create a family business. And both Molly and my son Dan came into the business at that point. Dan being the attorney and Molly being more the business leader. And the two have grown immensely, and we now have a thriving family business. Yeah, I think they will far surpass me in their skill set. I'll give you a scoop on this, Todd, that we are going to be promoting Molly to the Chief Executive Officer here at the end of September. I think she has all the skill set to run the company, and she's been our Chief Operating Officer for several years and done a great job. Well, I really will miss it. My wife keeps saying, Jim, what are your hobbies? And frankly, I don't have that many hobbies. I play golf very poorly. If I had to make a living at that, I wouldn't live very long. But what I will miss the most, I think, is coming in and meeting with people and talking to people. It's a wonderful industry. I mean, when I look at my contemporaries who have slowly retired over the years, we still get together, have a lot of laughs, talk about things that happened 20, 30 years ago. It's a great group of people. I think in Chicago, particularly in the industrial business, the camaraderie between all of us is very, very good. We've hired each other's kids because our kids didn't want to work for us. So we go back and forth on that and in that area to try to keep our kids on the straight and narrow. We party together. We compete like dogs when we're up against each other on a project, but we have mutual respect. And I think that's unique to Chicago. I don't see that in many of the other cities that we operate in. So I'm going to miss that. That's probably one of the biggest things that I will miss. Well, the first thing I would like to say is I want to thank the Illinois Real Estate Journals for this award. I thought it kind of came out of nowhere for me, and when I was told about it, I very much appreciated that. I think it's a wonderful award. I know my whole family appreciates it. The folks in my company appreciate it. Most of all, I appreciate it. So thank you very, very much. I'd also like to thank all the people who've helped me in my career along the way. As I've said before, you'd never get to a successful career with a lot of good people helping you along the way, and for no particularly good reason other than they just want to help you. And so I've had the luxury of having maybe 15, 20, 30 people help me along the way, with both customers, bankers, lawyers, a variety of real estate developers that have helped me grow. And I want to thank them at this time too for this. This award comes because they helped me. So I'm very appreciative of the award and appreciative of all the people that helped me along the way. Well, I mean, I'm a long-suffering Bears fan. I did have season tickets for the Vikings for about 12 years when I lived up there. Oh, go Bears.
There we go.
Oh, go Bears. This might be a good year. This Sunday, we're going to find out just how good they are.
Enjoy your retirement and wishing the best to the McShane companies on continued success under Molly's leadership.
Don't cut out the part about him putting ketchup on a Vienna hot dog, because that's a major Chicago sin, and only a flathead from Minnesota would do that. And I think he's a closet Packer fan. I can't prove it, but I think so.